Hey guys, it's Bree. So today I'm going to be showing you how to clean your cloth pads by hand. Now I'm going to say, before I go any further into the video, I am going to be using a genuine soiled cloth pad for this because it's really the only way to demonstrate the methods you need to use to get them clean, because obviously blood can be quite stubborn when getting them out. So if you are squeamish about blood and you really don't like seeing it, then this really isn't the video for you, and exit right now because, as I've said before, I've warned you and you're not going to like it if you're squeamish. The other thing you'll need is a stain stick of some kind. So I have two here, and actually I haven't really tried these properly on fresh blood stains, so it'll be a sort of review as we go along for you guys. So this is an Ecova stain remover. This is my favourite stain remover at the moment for stains that are stubborn and stick into my cloth pads even after I put them through the washing machine. And this is my Emilla stain stick, and this is kind of like the Bunch of Farmers stain stick type thing, but I haven't really used this one properly either, so you'll kind of see how these two work. So yeah, this method, I'm doing it on the whole basis that you would only use it for maybe a time when your washing machine is out of order or something, once in a while, not a long term option. There are other options you can do for long term if you don't have a washing machine. You can make one using a bucket with a lid and we call them sucker plungers or something similar like that over here, which you cut holes in and you kind of plunge them down. There are lots of videos on that. Probably won't do a video on that, but I might be a fun kind of DIY thing to do. It's how to make a homemade washing machine basically. But this is just a method you can do if for 1 month you're using cloth pads and your washing machine is broken down, but it will be better by next month, just so you don't have to spend any extra money on buying a bucket or anything. You just literally need your sink, your cloth pads, and your usual stain remover, or actually your detergent probably will work as well, but stain remover tends to work best with this. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. So this is the pad I'm going to be using today. This is a 12-inch Creations by 5 pad, and I leaked through it this morning really badly. I completely misjudged my heavy flow today. It was a lot heavier than I expected. Just as a point of reference to you guys, this is what a lighter colour cotton, the blood, looks like. And then this is a pad I've just changed, so it's more fresh. On a red print, you can barely even tell that's blood. So if you are squeamish and for some reason you decided to keep on watching this and you're interested in using cloth pads, then maybe try a red colour, because that really did cover the stain very well. I'm not going to wash this one with this method because you can't really see the staining properly. I'm just going to wash this with my normal load of pads in the washing machine. So this is the pad we're looking at. So the first thing you want to do is run it under cold water. Make sure it's cold. You can use warm or kind of room temperature, but don't use hot. That's my hot tap. This is cold. So just run it under the tap. That. So this is from this morning, and it's now like 6 o'clock at night, so it's actually quite an old stain. And you can see the blood starting to come out of that. Everyone has a different way of doing this. This is just my way when it's an absolute emergency. So I have no qualms about getting in there and rubbing this out, but some people might have an issue with it. If you do, you can use a toothbrush or something. But personally, it's just my blood. Like, I can deal with that. The other thing you can do is squeeze this, and you'll see all the blood starting to come out of this, and you want to do this until the water starts running clear. It can take a little bit of a while. You can do something we call zhuzhing, which is where you move the pad back and forth like this. And this is a Zorb fabric, so it's bound to hold quite a lot. So you can see on, let me just wring this out. Yeah, still a bit of blood, but I can deal with that. You can see here how where it was a lighter colour, it's pretty well washed out. It's still obviously stained, but a lot of the blood has come out of that. And I would go in with a toothbrush and pick all these off. Oh, I should have said beforehand, before you do this, you want to take a piece of tissue paper or toilet roll and wipe off any kind of clotting that might be on top. But then after this, you can use your stain stick. So I'm going to start with the Emilla stain stick, and we'll see how this works together. No pressure on this company. It's a lovely company, actually. I'm really keen to see how this works. So you can see here what I mean about how I'm a central bleeder and then I kind of just drip towards the back when I talk about that in my videos. The darker stains are the hardest to get out. That's why you want to use a stain stick, particularly on these areas. Okie dokie, I think that's pretty well covered. So we'll see how this one does. Now you can either choose to just leave that for 5 minutes just to soak in, or you can do what I do, which is basically you take this and you zhuzh it very carefully like that. You don't want to do too much wringing because that will reduce the lifespan of your cloth pads, which is why it's better when you use a washing machine, because they spin it to dry them out, they don't wring them out. It does help extend the lifespan of your cloth pads if you want to make them last as long as possible. So now that's all been mixed in pretty well, you can go in with a toothbrush, or again I just use my hands because I'm not bothered, and wash that all out. So after that rinsing, you can see that actually it's done a pretty good job, that Miller stain stick, and I could do another go at that, and that probably get the rest of that out, but I'm going to switch and use this one now just so that you can see the two of them in action, how they work. So this one has like these little bristles at the top, and you just take your pad, hold it up and smush it around. So when you're doing this, ideally what you want to do is leave this, and you would have done this with the Miller, with the other stain stick type as well, is leave it for about 5 to 10 minutes so that the stain treatment has some time to work. That's just what I'm going to do right now. I just leave that in the sink like that for about 2 to 5 minutes really, I'm not that patient. Okay, so it's been about 2 minutes, I'm too impatient to wait any longer. Then I would just rub it in a little bit like this, and obviously smudge it together, just rubbing it in, making sure it's got into all these bits back here that were stained. But you can already see it's a vast improvement on what we started with. And then again, rinse out with cold water. Okay, so it's really important with these cloth pads that you try and get as much of the soapy water out as possible, because any soap suds in there are going to take up some of the absorbency, which you don't want. One thing I just want to mention is that right here there's a bit of a stain. That's an old stain that I never bothered to treat. It's not from this particular one. I was aware of that before I used this pad. Okay, just going to soak that in there. It's pretty good, and one quick rinse and then that'll be good enough for me. So then wring it out. You want to wring out as much of the water as you can. It's a bit easier with Zorb pads because they do wring out quite well. Cotton does take longer to dry though, so this will take quite a while to dry. If you have a tumble dryer, if your dryer and your washing machine are separate, you have a tumble dryer, then it might be an idea to put these in on a low heat. Make sure it's low because otherwise the snaps can warp with all the heat. Very rare, but it can actually happen. And also you want to be careful because things like PUL and the fleece and this don't like high temperatures. And bamboo is another fabric that doesn't like high temperatures. This pad doesn't have bamboo in it, but some do. So if you're not 100% sure what's in your pads, then just be careful. It's always better to put it on a low heat though and do it for a little bit longer, even if it's only to get them a bit dry before you put them out to dry. But I'm perfectly happy to just put this on the radiator and let this dry. But you can see here, we've got the pad nice and clean. It is possible to do that, and you can do this if you have a lot of your pads at once. You can do them all at once, you don't have to do them one at a time. Just take them out, rinse them, stain treat them, fold them up, put them on the side like that. Alright, you can't see there. Put them to the side like that, and then pick up the next one, do it, stain treat it, put it to the side, and keep going, and then go back to the first one and rinse it out. That way you'll actually give the stain remover some time to soak in and do the work. But I hope that was helpful to you guys who wanted to know how you can do this by hand without a washing machine. You can do it when you're on holiday, obviously it's a good method for that. So it's a really easy method to clean your cloth pads with, and all you need is your cloth pad, a water source, and a stain stick. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you later. Bye bye.